Okay. So this was the Coca-Cola ad where they talked about how to get a grandmother and a kid together and
और उसी
what
ने
the
भेजा
want
है।
is.
अब मुझे क्या पता कैसे चलाना है, सिखाया उसने, सब कुछ सिखाया। वीडियो कॉल करता है, रेसिपी भेजता है, फोटोज भेजता है, बहुत सुंदर है। पर जब मैं कहती हूँ आएगा कब, आ जाएगा, कल आएगा, समर में आएगा, विंटर में आएगा, पर आता नहीं है। इस बार मैंने उसे गिफ्ट भेजा है, ये बॉटल सिर्फ दादी के साथ खुलेगी, मजा आएगा। लगता है बॉटल पहुंच गई।
रॉकस्टार, आपने ये सब भी ऑर्डर करना सीख लिया?
तो ये सब छोड़, बता आ कब रहा है?
आऊंगा ना दादी, पक्का।
हाँ हाँ, हमेशा से यही सुन रही हूँ।
Yeah, so this is the ad again Coca-Cola made, and if you will scroll like probably last 50 ads also, you will not find anything being talked about how tasty the Coca-Cola can be, or probably how what the product is made up of, or is it on some offer anywhere, anything. No, it will just talk about those emotions of getting people together, friends together, family together, celebrating the moment of life. That is what Coca-Cola is always about. Even if we see a brand like, okay, just a moment. Yeah, so brand again, like Tanishq, as I said, talks about connection, bond, relations, all that. McDonald's, that the tagline that they have created this slogan, it always talks about the joyful dining experience that people have over there. They will talk about their pricing, their new product, and all that into a different set of campaigns. But when they talk about what McDonald's is all about, they talk about the joyful dining experience, how joyful it can be when you come to McDonald's. What will be your experience? We have FN, a brand called Dove. Everyone knows it's just a regular soap, probably. But the way it have placed itself in market of what the Dove resonates to, it's it have broken the barriers of the fixed beauty, probably the standards which is being made by a lot of people through centuries have been running that, okay, this is what beauty is. They have been breaking that barriers. They are known to come up with those kind of innovations or ideas that, okay, we don't want women to get filtered into certain set of beauty standards which they are not comfortable with. They have taught women to be real. That is what Dove talk about. That is their moment. They will not talk of probably what how to use it or what it is. They will just make the major communication will rotate around how the product make them feel. So ending up or summarizing it up, branding is again the same thing. What are we, what we want to be remembered as or to be talked about, and how do we communicate it. There are different styles of communication. There are different styles of channels where we try to spread this messages. We go offline, we go online. That's the channel we use when we need to talk about this. A little bit idea on ATL and BTL activity. This is more towards the marketing side rather than branding side. Okay, we have now nice communication ready. We know the story. We know what we want to talk to people. We have a beautiful video done on that. We have other campaign curated. How do we reach out to people? Then we need to get into the execution part. There are all the execution channels or the communication channels or the activities by which we can reach out to clients or the audience are broken into three big buckets. One is ATL, BTL. Third one I'll let you know. So ATL, we say above the line, means the bigger crowd. We have where the audience is huge. We have TV ads. The viewership is in lakhs, in crores over there. We have newspapers. We talks about the circulation of any paper. It's high. We talk about hoarding. The number of people who see that ad on a hoarding is huge. So that is what ATL is. ATL is a camping where probably we are not trying to track it down to a very minute level of what the ROI is going to be, what is the sales that's going to get impacted, but a bigger channel of what do we want to communicate, and we want to reach out the bigger audience. So where the goal is majorly just to create an awareness, just to go into the market, tell people about what we are, and to tell people what we want to speak about. ATL is the channel. Then there's BTL, below the line, which is mostly a smaller group and very specifically targeted groups. We have digital ads, for example. So in digital, we will see very specific ads which are targeted to us. For example, today, if I'm searching something on location or probably traveling to somewhere, Make My Trip will start showing me ad on particular that, okay, now the tickets are like 10% off. You get this on if you book a ticket right now. Airbnb will start showing some ads around that location. So that's a very specific targeted ads which are for that set of audience. That is what we call as BTL. Even the community camping, there's so many offline campings where people go to community or probably the mall. We know that, okay, we are going to a certain set of community where we are going to have like 1,000 houses. We are going to have 1,000 families over there. We want to do like a car setup over there. We want to tell the people that, okay, this is a new car that's over in the market and we have some prices, discounts on that. And that's the camping that we want to run around that. So that is the BTL. So offline, online, where the targeted audience is a much smaller group, we say we'll go with BTL channels. Then through the line. Now there are certain brands who go with both the channels together. They want to create awareness as well as they want to go to the smaller target groups also and want to run ads which are very specific to a certain target audience. Again, I'll quote the example of ATL. They go very high on creating these kind of videos, putting it into TV ads, into newspapers, into hoardings and all that. But then they do very small individual activity also. Something like a day at Apple is a very specific campaign that Apple did for people who are specific for that particular product. Like for watches, they called people who are into health. For iPad, they called people who are into designing. And then they taught how to do probably designing on that product. For Mac, they had coders, people who do coding, who are again into designing also, to how to use Mac. So that's a very specific BTL crowd over there. They call it them to the store. They tell them how these product to be used, expecting that this information again then goes back to the sales funnel and increases. So this is the major part of the types of activities that we go into this. To summarize, I think I'll again say branding is a storytelling, is a promise that the brand makes to their clients. Marketing is a shorter version of it. It's a short-term activity or a short-term communication that we do with a very specific target of converting that into sales or product purchases. Type of activities, ATL, BTL, I've explained it. So I would park this over here and would keep the channel open for question and answers.
Dear participants, the question answer session is open. You can ask your question. Dear participants, you can unmute yourself. Yes. Dear participants, you can unmute yourselves and you can ask your question. First of all, thank you, dear participants, everyone, for rejoining our webinar. Due to technical issues, it got cut. Thank you, dear participants. You can raise your question. Krishna sir, if you have any questions, you can ask.
I was waiting for the student to ask the question. Anyway, only, madam, as you explained very nicely, branding, of course, I mean, like any other flow of information, we have lots of information pouring into all types of media, isn't it? And everything looks catchy. I mean, they take leading actors or sports person for branding, but branding and the quality, I think there is a gap, isn't it, madam? What they claim in the brand, in that advertisement, through their brand ambassadors, still I think there is a gap in between the reality and the actual quality of the product, isn't it, madam?
So the gap, I would agree, yeah, the gap is there. And that's where like professionals need to come in to understand what is the brand, how to make it, how to communicate it. And then there are a lot of on-ground challenges also that people come across. But again, the company who come across that challenges is the one who comes out as a strong brand. And this is not something, see, branding is, again, I told, is a very long-term commitment. It's a very long journey that company travels. We talk so high about Nike brand, we talk so high about Apple brand. But if we go back and look at their story from where they started, they had made years of journey to what they are right now. Right now, we just understand, okay, if it's a tick, it's Nike. But to reach to that level, I think it's a long path that goes over there. Even Apple had so many logo modifications. Almost every second year, third year, they did so many logo modifications until they reached that Apple, which is like bitten from one side. So agreeing to your point, yes, the challenges are there. The challenges, yeah, challenges increases with the kind of things, the speed with things are changing nowadays. The speed where, the attention span is decreasing. We don't have much of time, or the marketer, the branding person don't get much of attention span. If there is a video to be delivered, I'll tell you, previously we used to make video which were like 5 minutes long and people used to watch it. Now it's 30 seconds. Insta, it's 30 seconds. You have to communicate your story within 30 seconds. Otherwise, you can't. So I think challenges are there, but yeah, that's the way. And we have to understand what the challenges is, come across it, and that's where the brand will be reaching.
One more small question.
Sure, sir.
Are brand ambassadors, are they made liable in case of any variation from what they make announcement through their advertisement? So there is some accountability, isn't it, nowadays?
So this is a very controversial statement, actually.
Isn't it? No.
It is. I won't be able to answer this very
correct. Correct.
But I think if you will see some examples, like there are a lot of Indian celebrities which endorse certain kinds of product, but are we sure that they themselves are using those kind of products?
It's true.
So I think the answers lies over there itself. So
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dear participants, any other questions? You can unmute yourself and you can raise the question. Dear participants. Ma'am, my question, ma'am. I'm Dr. N. Raja, as well as I'm Assistant Professor, Department of Visual Communication, Satyabama Institute of Science and Technology, Chennai. Nice. Ma'am, role of AI in brand promotion. What is the role of AI in brand promotion?
So AI role, I would say, is not only right now limited to brand promotion, but it is entering into every aspect of our life. And the kind of level they have reached it is really unbelievable. coming down to brand promotion, I think there are tools which help us create some creatives. They do help us create some kind of videos. They do help us create some SMS or text or copy and all that. So it is becoming a little extension of what we can do, or probably helping us to do what we want to do a little more faster. So
Yes.
that's how it still don't have the capacity of doing any kind of strategical thinking, or probably give you a concept or that kind of idea. But yeah, if you will type that, okay, I need a letter which talks about these 3 points in 500 words, good to go. They'll give you option which would be faster than a normal person writing or typing it. Same goes for the visual designs also. But yes, there is a little more journey that AI also have to travel to reach to a certain level, but that's going to come very fast. So that section where AI is being used for generating these kind of video is called generative AI.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. Dear participants, any other questions? Nidhi, Miss Nidhi, ma'am. Ma'am, some of them, they mentioned their questions in a chat box, ma'am.
Okay, let me pull that.
Professor Sambat typed some question, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find it out. There's so many windows getting open.
Okay, ma'am. Dear participants, you can unmute yourself. You can raise your questions. Dear participants, our guest is available.
I am sorry, I cannot see any question in the chat box.
Okay, ma'am. Sridevi, ma'am.
Long-term brand marketing is all about building up your brand authority, reliability, and market share in the minds of your target audience. So could you please share insight about the professional ethic a person working in a brand management has to follow? Okay, so Professor Sambat, yes, talking about the ethics that the brand person have to follow. There are a lot of, I think, the debate around that, okay, is this right? Is this wrong? Is this, because when we talk about certain set of people, they would say, no, let's put up which have like, very nice images and, have a very big tone, a very loud volume, energetic voice, and go that and make a story around that. But what we have to again think is what we want to be known as. If we say that, okay, no, I want to be known, or the brand needs to be known as something which is professional, which have a connect, which have a certain sustainability and all that, we need to choose a tone accordingly. So it's not more onto the what the ethics the person should be having into the brand management, but what he have to follow, what the brand story is about, rather than probably, sometimes he may not even agree. I'll tell my own examples. Sometimes, when I have to do certain ads and I'm like, "Hey, this is so boring, yeah. Probably, I could do, put some more animation to it and do something, out of the box over there." But then as a brand person, I again have to take a step back, say that, okay, out of the box is not something the brand is known for. Brand itself is known for sustainability, long-term thing. So, no, they need to be known as someone which is professional and all that. So the story have to speak about it. So I think that is the major, not the ethics, but a major fight that a branding person always have between what they want to communicate and what the brand needs to be communicated about.
Excuse me, ma'am. Good evening. Sorry for the interruption in between. But
Good.
my question is related to this only that I think a couple of years ago there was an event where Kareena Kapoor, a Bollywood celebrity, she was endorsing a brand, I guess Sony Vaio, and she was there to promote the laptops of the same brand. But during the promotional event, when one of the reporters asked her that are you going to give this Sony Vaio to Saif Ali Khan, Sony Vaio to Saif Ali? And then she said, Ki, no, why would I would give this to Saif. I will be giving a MacBook to him. So how do we perceive such statements from the brand ambassadors while doing a brand promotion? I mean, is that a way of negatively branding, like negative publicity, negative publicity she is trying to promote, or is it like she is not able to connect herself with the brand she is promoting? I mean, how do we see this?
Yeah. So, Nidhi, I think we will have to have different perspective on that. See, as I said earlier, we need to first question ourselves that the celebrity who's promoting a certain kind of product on ads, does they themselves use that? Right. You get a lot of answers over there. Having said that, we still need these people, we still need the influencers to talk about the brand, to establish themselves into the market. Now again, this becomes part of the brand strategy. When they have to do that, you will see there are a lot of brands which never have ambassadors. For example, Apple don't have a brand ambassador. They talk as like when I was working with them, they have a very single liner: a product is a hero. So this is all a part of brand strategy, that how the brand needs to be established. So once we are designing that, that is the question that we need to answer, that okay, are we going to pull a celebrity collaboration in this or not? Yes, so celebrity collaborations do give a lot of awareness, help us reach masses. We can reach a lot of audience. Of course, it does have a negative side also to that. So regarding negative marketing, I think the brand who wants to stay for a longer time or want to build themselves won't go into that kind of tactics. But yeah, that's a part of every brand is different, how they want to do it, and what the person sitting at the brand management team wants to pursue, or is he able to win the battle with himself and the branding. I think that's what it is to be. But rather than taking it on a negative side, we should just say that okay, probably the celebrity themselves are not able to connect to the product they are endorsing for right now.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nidhi ma'am. Any other questions, dear participants? You can unmute yourself and you can raise your question. Yes, Professor.
Hi, sir. Hi, Rajasan. Namaste.
Namaste.
Ma'am, I'd like to ask about rebranding, like a brand as a branding strategy. I saw that a lot of products might be like Apple, even Apple had rebrand their product many times. Even they had changed their logo. If you are looking to the history of their brand, so in what time or in what instant they have to take a rebranding strategy, because it is a long running strategy that initially these products actually taken. So what is which time they have to think about a rebranding strategy? And could you please, as we are having a lot of students in the visual media, and a lot of students are here from the background of visual communication and public relation. So how these students can come into this profession of, or the discipline of brand and brand management? Could you please give some insight about that also? Thank you.
Okay, so talking about rebranding, or probably when it is required, to answer that, or probably to say that, okay, are we on that stage? There are certain questions that first we need to ask ourselves. Are we aligning to the values that the brand actually have? Are those values communicated in the correct way? Or are those values even communicated? the kind of style or the personality that I want my brand to be known for, is that what the brand known for? So whenever any kind of brand comes into a rebranding strategy, it is not a one day decision that, okay, someone from the branding team will say that, okay, I am not liking the logo, let's go in and change it. It doesn't happen that way. There are a lot of questions that needs to be answered. There are a lot of research that needs to be done. There are a lot of reaching out to audience to understand how the brand is being perceived by the audience before even thinking of the rebranding activity, because it takes time, it takes money, it takes, again, the brand have to be registered into the mind of the people, which takes a lot of efforts. So rebranding is a very crucial decision. Again, we have to see that whether are we aligned with what we are talking, is aligned with the values, or what we want to be known for is being there out in the world. Another is sometimes brand as just to connect again with the audience with a fresh perspective, or probably saying that, we are something new right now. So that is also one approach brand takes sometimes to launch themselves again with a new logo, with a new value, with new concept that, now we are known for this. So those are the times where there's a rebranding things required. And talking about the visual students, or probably see visuals part of it, or the PR part of it, is again extension of all that. When we talk about a rebranding activity, we have to have all our channels open. We can't just do a very small targeted audience and say that, we have changed and this thing have changed in our story right now. We are now much more stronger on the technical front probably, or on the customer service front probably. So what is then we have to open up all our channels, and then PR and visual media and all that becomes the extension of it. So they of course have to be looped on it, and then they need to plan that, okay, how am I going to communicate this new brand or this new communication to the audience. Then there's a lot of, we get into, okay, coming down to how the visual works. There's a lot of facts around what color talks about what feeling, what color talks about what mood, what font size particularly talk about what kind of actions. So there are a lot of things which comes into these kind of activities. So we take that as the extension of a rebranding strategy.
Dear participants, any other question? Dear participants, any other questions? Okay.
Good evening, ma'am.
Hi, good evening.
Ma'am, actually, I just want to ask you that what can you please explain a bit about brand extension, like what specifically it is and how it can help more?
Sorry, brand extension in the term of?
In the terms of branding only. Like,
No, I'm not.
There are, like what I have studied is that there are 4 types of brand strategies. So one is that brand extension, there's line extension. So can you explain a bit more of that? There must be some strategies of branding. There are different types. Yeah.
So, okay. So there are different types of strategies as per different kind of academics you'll see over there. But when it comes to probably what exactly is on their on the ground, it again just gets boiled down to, one is to what to say, to establish themselves in the market they have. Another is the growth strategy, where they talk that, okay, now we are strong into this particular market. How do we acquire new market? What do we talk into those kind of market? Is this market going to accept the same kind of feeling or the same kind of communication what we are doing right now? So then that goes to that particular market. The research is done over there. We try to understand what is the audience over there, what's the profile over there, then and what we want them to be remembering the brand about. And that's how we again narrate that kind of stories over there. So as and when we want to keep extending or keep expanding, probably we need to plan in a way which have right from this knowing your audience to right bottom to getting it executed through the different ATL or BTL channels.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Dear participants, any other questions?
Dr. Raja, I think you can wind up.
Yes, yes, sir, sure, sir.
Muthukumar Balu.
I think sir is not here, sir.
Okay.
Sridevi,
Let me take let me do it. Let me take the pleasure of thanking everyone for this wonderfully organized program. Albeit the technical glitch which we all need to face. It has become a part and parcel of our life because we are completely dependent on mobile and phone, the laptop and whatnot. So yes, we are forced to face all this technical glitch. Leaving that apart, it's a wonderful program. Thank you, Sunita, for accepting our invitation and sharing and giving a different perspective about the branding. It's very interesting and engaging presentation, I would say. And there was active participation from the people who have joined this is a webinar. Quite a lot of interesting questions, and that has opened quite a lot of unknown territory in the communication field. Like the last person who was asking about brand extension. To my knowledge, brand extension is if you establish a brand, normally the brand capitalize on that and launch another project. Like for example, globally, General Electric, GE, if you take, there are about 100 such. L&T, if you take, there are 100 divisions. So normally they capitalize on the established brand and open another brand. That is one dimension. And another dimension is if you look at all the computer ad, be it a Samsung or Microsoft, there is always a kind of small thing, Intel inside. Intel never advertise. Okay, it is always a part of big hardware brands. So that is also an extension of the brand. So there are different perspectives. Sunita Madam has given a very valuable and accurate information about the extension. I am just adding up one or two for the benefit of the people who have gathered here. And I thank PRSI and the office bearers for initiating this webinar. There are 300 plus participants. That shows the kind of impact the topic has generated. With this, we will close and look for another such lovely program. And once again, thank you, Sunita Madam, for joining us.
Thanks a lot for
sharing your knowledge and wisdom. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. First of all, I want to thank our chairman, Mr. Ram Kumar Singaram, and other teams like Dr. S. Sridevi, ma'am. Our EC member, past chairman, Mr. Ramesh, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And not least, our participants. Thank you, participants. In between the glitches, technical issues came immediately. All the participants, more than 300 participants participated our program. Thank you so much. Thank you, participants. We can meet another program. A small announcement. Participants, kindly fill up the feedback form. Within 2 days, we issue the certificate for this particular program. Every month, 2 online program we are planned to conduct. So don't leave the WhatsApp group. We, continuously, organize various different programs in a online mode. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Sunita, Madam. Thank you, Madam. Thank you, Ramesh sir.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, sir.
Pleasure, pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sunita ji. We'll wind up.
Sure. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Hmm.